o'clock. This meeting is called to order. Ray, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our first order of business is to review the minutes of the December 12, 2011 work session and non-public work session. We'll start with the non-public.
I make a motion to approve those minutes.
I will second that.
It's been moved by Mike, seconded by Ray. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Those minutes are approved. Next, we have do we have work session minutes?
I didn't see. I was just looking.
I do not have work session, regular work session minutes. So we will defer approval of those minutes until our next meeting, but we do have the minutes of the December 12, 2011 regular Select Board meeting.
I would make a motion to approve those.
I'm going to refrain from seconding because looking at the document, the under approval of minutes, notice the first bulleted paragraph. I don't understand how in the Select Board meeting minutes. No, I apologize. I'm incorrect. I will second the motion.
All right, it's been moved by Mike, seconded by Ray. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those minutes are approved.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
there are no work session minutes for that.
Oh, we just had the non-public
You're
work
right,
session.
assessing, right,
Right.
done that day.
All right, thank you. Announcements. The Select Board will meet on the following dates. Regular meetings at 6 p.m. on Monday, January 9, 2012 and January 23, 2012. Work review sessions prior to the regular meetings will start at 5 p.m. All of the above meetings will be held in the Town Hall unless otherwise posted. Weather observations for the month of November are available in the Town Hall. A citizen is still needed to represent the town of Plymouth on the Genesis Behavioral Health Board of Directors. All town offices will be closed on January 2nd, 2012 in observance of New Year's Day. And any citizens wishing to be listed on the Select Board agenda should notify the Town Hall before 12 p.m. on the Friday before the scheduled meeting. Thank you. Okay. This is a fairly light agenda. The first actual item that we have is under correspondence. We have a letter of resignation from firefighter Thomas Beaumont, which I will read. It's dated December 15, 2011, and written to Chief Casino Clogston. Dear Chief Clogston, it is with deep regret to inform you that I will be resigning from full-time employment from the Plymouth Fire Department effective 1/2/2012 at 0800. As much as I have enjoyed working for the Plymouth Fire Department, I have found employment elsewhere. I would like to thank you for the opportunity you have given me at the department. Sincerely, Thomas Beaumont. And we also have a recommendation from Chief Clogston to recommend hiring Marco Tapio Mayo, who was interviewed in connection with a previous vacancy that was filled by another individual. Marco Mayo is currently with the Bridgewater Fire Department, and he is in training for certification as a paramedic. So he certainly has qualifications that would benefit Plymouth. Is there any discussion about that?
I recommend that we accept the letter of resignation. I'll also go forward, and since I understand that the examination of Mr. Mayo has been fully vetted, in the interest of time, I would suggest that we move to approve his appointment also.
All right, so first we need to act on the motion to accept the letter of resignation, and thank
Oh.
you.
Second that.
All right, all those, moved by Ray, seconded by Mike, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? So that has been accepted. And then another motion to move forward with hiring of Marco Mayo.
I understood that the chief, does the chief have hiring authority for the fire department? I heard something to that effect.
Only the board has final.
We have the final approval
Final
authority.
Oh, okay. I'll second the motion.
All right. So it's been moved by Ray, seconded by Mike. All those in favor of hiring Marco Tapio Mayo?
Aye.
Opposed? And he will come before us at our next meeting. Okay. Chairman's comments. I certainly hope that everyone has enjoyed this holiday season and wish you a happy, healthy new year. And then moving on to more business. New purchase orders. For the library, we have a purchase order from Certified Computer Solutions of Northfield to purchase 4 computers, peripherals. This includes preparation and installation of these for $6,251.07.
In view of the ample detail sheet that's attached to the request, I'll move that we approve the request as presented.
I'll second that.
All right, it has been moved by Ray, seconded by Mike. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Purchase order is approved. We will go ahead and sign it. Okay, and next we have a permit request. This is approval of a vending permit for Plymouth Ski and Sports, Daniel Macera. Mr. Macera has been leasing a space on Main Street for a boat trailer for a number of years now, and has requested to renew that permit. And it looks like the terms of the license, this is actually a town form that holds a license fee of $500 for a vendor in the designated spot on Main Street. Requires him to provide a certificate of insurance with the town of Plymouth named as an additional insured in the amount of $100,000, and his state license issued to him pursuant to RSA 320:8. Any discussion about that one?
Well, I thought we should just mention that there was some discussion at a meeting that was rather well attended here about the question of who he could sublease to or assign the lease to. There was this issue about the food vending there.
Right.
And I think we indicated to that group that we would give that some thought, and I think maybe before we sign off on that, we should just think about whether there are any changes that should be made to that before we approve it again based on that meeting we had.
I think we might simply add to the approval that the space is not to be used for food vending or purposes, yeah. Because there has been no issue. I know he's had other things for sale there that haven't caused the problems with Main Street businesses as the food vendor did.
I
I am of a similar belief as Mike. I have two more questions that come to my mind. One, I came away with an understanding that the rate of the $500 had been in place for a period of time, and I wondered if that's not something that should be revisited to see if that amount is still appropriate today. And second, the actual, if I can use the expression, town ordinance that actually guides us in this, I wonder, in the same spirit as what Mike has already spoke to, if we shouldn't just take a look at that, the ordinance itself, to make sure that we're comfortable today with both the latitude and the restrictions that it may impose on the use of these parking places. In terms of, just to give you a sense of where I'm at, in terms of actually moving forward with this request, except for those questions, the general nature of my belief is that I would vote to approve it if those two things were considered, if we took a look at both the breadth and the restrictions and also took a look at the rate to see if it's still appropriate today. I don't have anything against this particular application from this gentleman for its use, but I think we ought to take a look at the broader picture first.
Broader picture. Paul?
I think what you should do then is table it until you have the full board, discuss it, but take note tonight that it was submitted in a timely fashion.
Yes.
It did meet the deadline. So there's not going to be any kickback so that Mr. Becerra didn't meet the deadline.
Right.
So that we just take note that it was submitted in time. It just needed further discussion.
I agree, because it has to be
Submitted by
December
December
31st. And
Yeah.
So we did get it in time, but it still needs more time to be entertained.
right.
Before.
And he doesn't have his boat trailer out there at this time anyway, so it doesn't, I mean, it's not affecting him, it's just ensuring that he keeps the space.
Because I think you're going to want to visit the usage of it.
Right.
And you might want to blanket that where, and it's for further discussion, you might not just want to bring up the food, you might want it to be whatever's going to go there on a temporary basis has to come before the board for
Right.
approval.
If it's anything other than his
Anything other
trailer.
than his, because it might be something else that we haven't thought of that
Right.
might be offensive or not appropriate in the eyes of the board or the citizens of the town.
Right.
So you
So my-
probably would want to review anything that
Anything that would be a sublease of that space, right.
Yeah.
would come before the board for permission.
That makes sense.
That makes good sense.
Well, if I reflect on how well it served us, when we were approached on the use of the town common, and we were able to refer to the ordinance that guided us into what was permissible and not permissible, that was very helpful. My thought was maybe we want to have something in the same line.
So we should take a look at the specific ordinance. that
Right, because in the
permits
past, the board never weighed in on what could be submitted as a sublease.
Mhm.
I think maybe going forward, the board should be included.
Well, and this is the only parking space in town that's currently
Yes.
leased,
Mhm.
correct?
Correct.
So we could, on this application, make a decision to say any sublease has to be approved, presented and approved by the board, because he's the only person that's going to be affected.
Mhm.
So that by itself is fairly simple, but as far as the rate that we charge for the space, that's something that I think we need the full board discussion for.
But that's the only one that will impact
Right.
the current lease. We know no other people that want to come before him to sublease it, so we're not going to impact those people, just protecting the town for the future.
So if Ray hasn't made that motion, I will, that we table this application, note that it was submitted in a timely fashion, and I guess I would just add that the tabling is for the purpose of revisiting the amount of the fee and the conditions under which it's granted.
Yeah, the terms of the
Terms
ordinance.
of the ordinance.
I will second that.
All right, it's been moved by Mike, seconded by Ray. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, that is tabled. Okay, Next, we have committee reports.
There have not been any meetings that have been occurring that I have needed to attend since we last were together, so it's the season.
The Energy Commission meeting, which was to be held last week, the day it rained so hard, was canceled and is rescheduled for anybody who's interested for January 25th here at 6:30, I believe. So that's the Plymouth Energy Commission, and I don't have anything else to report.
Okay. And I did attend a campus community council meeting, and it was not very heavily attended. Again, a reflection of, I think, student conduct and the effectiveness of our noise ordinance as we amended it this year. And that's all I had. Moving on to new business, Pamela Martin, discussion of Northern Pass ordinance.
Well, this is regarding the white space ordinance.
Right, why don't you come on up?
We have a lawyer in Washington State who's gone over our ordinance, and he's found some corrections he wanted to make. So rather than print them out, what I've done is just highlighted them so you could read what was there and what the correction is, and when we have our meeting, we're going to do new ones. But I just thought it'd be easier for you to look at it this way, to see what the corrections are. So I've highlighted them in the booklet. Would you like? And you'll have a chance to look at that. And then I wanted to remind you is next Wednesday is the meeting where we're going to put on an explanation of why we're doing this and trying to get folks to understand what the ordinance is about. And
Where is that going to be?
that's at the library next Wednesday night.
What time?
7 o'clock.
Okay. So that's the 4th, it must be, right? Yeah.
Yep. And we're going to hopefully record that, and so we can televise it or, put it on CDs or whatever for folks who can't make it.
Great.
And so we're going to have to get new signatures because the ordinance has changed.
Yeah,
So we're going to have to do that again.
So you're going to submit a new, or a substitute petitioned warrant article?
Right.
Okay.
And I'd like to know what the deadline is for the signatures
I don't know.
for the March meeting.
Can you do it by the 2nd of January?
Oh, yeah. We could do it anytime, but it's just that I think we have this meeting next week. We could get all the signatures completed by then. And also, this lawyer who's from Washington State, we're flying him out and putting him up. And he's going to be going to Lancaster, Sugar Hill, and we're going to try to get him to Plymouth. If we can't get him to Plymouth, we're hoping everybody can go to Lancaster, or actually Littleton. And that's on the 26th of January. But we're negotiating, since we're paying for it, so we're negotiating to get him to stop in Plymouth on his way back the 27th and have lunch here, probably at the library or someplace. And everybody can just bring a brown bag lunch and listen to him speak, because he's a very, very good speaker and he can help explain and answer questions that we're not able to do. So that's probably around the 27th, but if we can't get him to stop, but I think we can, he'll be in the Lafayette School in Franconia at 6 p.m. January 26th.
Franconia,
Franconia.
okay, you said Littleton.
Yeah, no. It's but Franconia is not doing it. I don't think. It's Littleton and Lancaster that are writing these ordinances, same ordinances we have.
But the
Easton.
meeting, he's going to be in Franconia.
Yeah, it's going to be in Franconia. That's where the school is. So we've got Easton, Sugar Hill, Littleton, Lancaster, maybe Northfield, Thornton, and Campton, all working on the same ordinances. So we figured there's strength in numbers. We'll do it, but we're going to try it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And we next have an approval of employee vacation carryover requests. We have a list of requests submitted by our department heads. for employees to carry over unused vacation days from 2011.
Having had an opportunity to review that list and being aware that it was submitted by the department managers, I recommend that we approve it as presented.
I'll second that.
All right, moved by Ray, seconded by Mike. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Those carryover requests are approved. And finally, under unfinished business, we have the High Street signs, and those, as you may recall, are the do not enter signs that were placed on High Street a number of months back. We have conducted a survey of residents of the High Street area, and the opposition to those signs was overwhelming. And I would like to therefore request a motion that the signs remain down. They were removed some number of weeks ago by a member of the opposition to the signs.
Persons unknown.
Right. And they have not been replaced.
I would make the motion that the signs be permanently not put up. I wasn't very
The
gracious.
signs will remain down.
Thank you, Paul.
I will second that motion.
All right. It's been moved by Mike, seconded by Ray. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Have we any public comment tonight?
Yes, the public would like to thank the board and the town administrator for their work through 2011 on our behalf. And I know there's a lot of work behind the scenes that we, the public, don't see, but I know it's there. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Having no further business to conduct, is there a motion to adjourn?
Your turn.
I'll second.
The motion I move that we adjourn this meeting.
I thought when you did that, you were moving it. Yes, second.
It's been moved by Mike, seconded by Ray. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Happy New Year.
This meeting is adjourned. Happy New Year.
The kid's going crazy. It just goes on for hours.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, geez.
And you had some